Hi everyone, welcome back to Daily Recaps. Today, I am going to explain a film called Iron Protector. Hope you like it. Enjoy the video and take care. Film starts with a martial arts expert named Wu Lin. He is the successor of an ancient Chinese clan, the Iron Feet. Wu Lin comes to a big city for the first time in years. A group of gangsters in pursuit bumps into a kid and drops his ice cream. Wu Lin seeks out the men to assist him and finds them in an alleyway. They've located the person they were looking for, and they are about to murder him. Wu Lin delays them by using the pretext of getting the ice cream money back. But when they start getting aggressive, he doesn't hold back. He takes on a dozen gangsters on his own, showcasing great kung fu skills. By the end of the fight, he is the only one standing. The man whose life he saved is a wealthy businessman named Jia Shan. He offers him money, but Wu Lin refuses to accept it. He then goes back to the child and gives him another cone of ice cream. Suddenly, many cars surround him from all sides. The leader of the opposite group comes out and hugs Wu Lin, revealing that the two are good friends. He is a kung fu master and the owner of a security firm, Jian Lai. Jian Lai and Wu Lin once served the same master as his followers. Before Jian Lai moved to the city to improve his life, they were friends and trained together. Over the years, he has amassed wealth and notoriety, but along the way, he has lost sight of the teachings of his master. We learn from their conversation that Jian Lai did not depart the village alone. He made a huge mistake during a practice and was kicked out by the master. The master believed he was not worthy of being taught a sacred art like kung fu. In the present, Wu Lin brings out the master's ashes, revealing that he passed away. Jian Lai breaks down crying, still filled with love for his mentor. They visit Jian Lai's training facility the following day. Wu Lin is asked to take off his shoes during the security check because they are made of metal. Jian Lai permits him to enter without taking them off because he is aware of their significance. Jian Lai has received a visit from businessman Jia Shan, who has come to hire a bodyguard for his daughter. Jian Lai demonstrates the might of his troops to him, but Jia Shan expresses interest in hiring Wu Lin. Given that the protector will do whatever it takes to protect the employer, Wu Lin agrees to carry out the master's teaching. Next morning, Wu Lin meets Jia Shan's spoiled daughter Fifi. The first meeting doesn't go as expected as a startled Fifi drops her towel, assuming he is an intruder. After finding out he is her new bodyguard, she offers him money to leave her alone. However, Wu Lin is true to his principles, so a little amount of money won't change his decision. As a last resort, Fifi threatens him with a fake gun, but Wu Lin doesn't react at all. Later that day, the two drive to the mall. Fifi reluctantly walks around while he follows her everywhere. Then, she notices a group of perverts bothering a girl. She confidently walks to the leader of the group and slaps him in the face. When the man is agitated, she lies that Wu Lin asked her to do so. The thugs are about to beat up Wu Lin when he claims that he doesn't know who Fifi is. The plan bites her back when they believe him and start chasing her to teach her a lesson. Wu Lin watches in amusement as they make her run around the mall. But at last, he decides to help her and makes the thugs apologize. Wu Lin has dreams at night where his father throws him off a cliff. It turns out that he has also experienced the same thing in reality. When he was only 7 years old, his corrupt businessman father tried to kill him. The reason is still unknown to Wu Lin, but he remembers his father said, "Success requires sacrifice," before throwing him off a cliff. Then, we are introduced to a gangster named Mr. Fu. He used to be Jia Shan's employer, but is now actively trying to kill him. Jia Shan has information about every criminal activity Fu has been a part of. Hence, the gangster wants him dead as soon as possible. A trusted fortune teller claims that Fu's end is near. Although the man has been working with Fu for several decades, he shoots him dead because of the outrageous assumption. The following day, Wu Lin and Fifi go to a posh restaurant. Wu Lin stands by her and keeps an eye on everyone while Fifi enjoys the meal. Asserting that the waitress is attempting to harm Fifi, he suddenly holds her down. Fifi rushes to the bathroom in a fit of rage, but Wu Lin barges in and drags her outside. They have another argument as they are returning home. Assuming Wu Lin is harassing Fifi, a group of men comes to her aid. She seizes the chance to flee, but the waitress and waiter from earlier kidnap her instead. Wu instincts Lin's were correct, but he doesn't have time to rejoice. He quickly follows the car and gets on top of it after jumping off an overbridge. However, He soon loses his grip and falls down. The second time, he doesn't bother jumping on it but faces it head-on. After stopping it and fighting the masked kidnapper, he manages to run away with Fifi. When they reach home, Fifi asks him how he knew the waiter and waitress were one of the abductors. Wulin replies that he has trained himself to learn body language. A person can lie, but their movement shows how nervous, excited, or angry they are. Fifi also reveals that she has had several bodyguards growing up. She never had privacy and the freedom to do the things she liked. Hence, she started to hate all bodyguards in general. In the end, she adds that Wulin is not as bad as the other ones. Fifi sobs over her late mother's memory as she looks at her family photo before going to bed. The gangster Fu sends his right-hand man Jianglai from somewhere else. The man wants Jianglai to help them kill Jia Shan. Although Jianglai is skeptical, he agrees to help them. It turns out that when he first came to the city, Mr. Fu gave him a meal and helped him start the business. In turn, the gangster uses the trained bodyguards for his own good, but Jianglai feels too indebted to retaliate. The next day, Jianglai and Wulin meet at a construction site. Jianglai boasts about his knowledge of the real world that Wulin is unknown. He thinks he is better than Wulin because he has connections with whom he maintains good relationships. On being asked to stop protecting Fifi, Wulin refuses. For the first time in their lives, the brothers stand against each other. Jianglai admits he is still resentful. He did not receive the special boots. Wulin did. Now that they have a chance, Master wants to see who is the better fighter because he has always favored Wulin and believed him to be a natural fighter. They start fighting, but because they are equal in size, neither can win. Jianglai's specialty has always been a magic fist move. He uses it to punch Wulin in the chest and throw him against the wall. Jianglai eventually declares that they are no longer brothers and departs. Following the encounter, Wulin takes Fifi to a secluded house by a beach. They spend their days practicing kung fu together. Wulin reveals that the boots he wears are 25 kilos each. He has been wearing them for the past 8 years in an attempt to master a technique called the 108 kicks. When he takes the boots off, he will be stronger than ever. Then, one day, Jianglai's people find out Wulin and Fifi's location. But Jianglai knows that his trainees are not even close to Wulin's expertise. He gives them a large handcuff to use in their favor in the fight. They attack at night when Wulin is least expecting it. The couple runs into the woods where Wulin is busy fighting the intruders. Taking the opportunity, 2 of the gangsters kidnap Fifi and bring her to a warehouse. Wulin follows them behind but accidentally sets his foot in a trap. With a handcuff tied to his already heavy leg, he has a hard time fighting them. Still, he knocks out several men and gives them a difficult competition. In the end, they trap both of his legs and slam him into a wall. When he is weak, a man drags him to a field nearby. Jianglai sees his former brother on the verge of death and feels a hint of pain, but he suppresses it with anger. He approaches Wulin and kills him with a final punch at his chest. They bury him in a pit before returning to their base. The pit is becoming flooded as the rain continues to fall heavily. Wulin abruptly emerges from it, demonstrating that he is still alive. The punch didn't hurt him too badly because he was born with a heart on the right side of his chest. With renewed motivation, Wulin returns home and takes off the metal boots. It causes him to master the 108 kicks technique. Then, he changes his appearance and wears a suit before going to Jianglai's training center. Hundreds of his trainees who are guarding the place attack him. But now with 50 kilograms of weight off his feet, Wulin is undefeatable. He only uses his hands for defense and knocks several of them out with his amazing footwork. In the end, he is the only one standing in the ring. He confidently walks into the room with Mr. Fu, Jianglai, Fifi, and Jia Shan after the encounter. When Fu asks if he is not afraid of dying, Wulin responds that success necessitates giving something up. Because he had said the same thing to his son before killing him, Fu is shocked. Several years ago, Jia Shan and Fu collaborated on a project. But once, Fu forced Jia Shan to be apprehended by the police, which led to the passing of his wife. Even since then, Jia Shan had been looking to take revenge on Fu. Fu loved his son Wulin dearly, until one day, he witnessed Wulin chasing an animal away by just staring at it. Fu's trusted fortune teller told him that his son would be the end of him and his career. That was the reason why he tried to kill Wulin, even though he was only a kid. Fu laughs at his fate, thinking that the fortune teller was right all along. He fires at Wu Lin, but this time, Jiang Lai stops him. He is tired of being a pawn in Fu's illegal activities. He claims that he wants to fight Wu Lin and give him a chance to showcase the power of 108 kicks. They get into yet another battle where Jiang Lai has an upper hand because of the strength-magnifying gloves he is wearing. As the fight proceeds, Wu Lin slowly starts to overpower him. But when Jiang Lai is about to be defeated, Fu shoots him dead. With his last breath, he asks Wu Lin to live and maintain the legacy of the Iron Feet clan. Now, only Wu Lin and Fu are the ones left alive. Seeing his death in front of him, Fu tries to make amends Wu Lin, but his attempt fails. Wu Lin launches at him, ready to end his life, but decides otherwise. He has always engaged in fair combat, and the master forbids killing an opponent. And he doesn't want to swoop down a Fu's level, so he lets him be with his ruined business. And in the last scene of movie, we see Wu Lin spreading Jiang Lai's ashes in the air with anger. That's all from the movie. Thanks for watching. If you want more interesting videos like this, then hit like and subscribe to support the daily recaps. See you again. Take care.